If you want to get stupid rich, you have to understand something, right? There's two things that are going to help you get there. And these two things are mandatory. There's no way to go around it. So it's not just good marketing and sales and leadership and all that stuff. It's certainly not anything in terms of management of people or, what is the industry that there's still not a lot of competition in, because you're going to find competition everywhere. But the thing that's really going to help you become successful and rich in every category of life is this: adversity. And I want to let you know that adversity comes in many ways. And specifically, it comes in these two ways. One, it shows up as the bear. And number two, it shows up as the dragon. And you're probably wondering, what the hell is he talking about, the bear and the dragon? Well, if you want to develop meaningful relationships, if you want to become the best version of yourself, if you want to create a business that really scales and grows and makes a lot of money and employs a lot of people and helps a lot of people and, generates a lot of profits for you, you're going to have to go through adversity. And I almost look at it as adversity shows up because it is God's way, it is the universe's way, it is your creator's way of testing you to see if you want it. And if you do not address the bear and the dragon, you will never have a meaningful relationship. You will never have great health that you maintain. You'll be the person that loses weight, gets fit, and then gains weight and is not healthy, and then loses weight, gets fit, and then gains weight, and you're not healthy again. Or you go in and out of shitty relationships. They're good for a temporary amount of time, and then you do something to sabotage it. Or, your business is kicking ass and taking names, and then boom, it just literally topples on itself. And if you're wondering why that happens, I'm going to tell you, you are not addressing the bear and the dragon. So if you're wondering what the hell are the bear and the dragon, I'm going to tell you. The bear is all external resistance. The dragon is all internal resistance. And all of us must encounter and overcome the internal and external resistance. So let's talk about the bear first. Here's how I look at it. If you can just visualize in your mind's eye, like this mountain that you're climbing, and we're just going to use business as an example, but at the top of the mountain, it could be a meaningful relationship. It doesn't have to be a successful business. At the top of the mountain, it could be the ultimate version of you, the self-actualized, healthiest, most awesome version of you. Whatever your life's goal is at the top of the mountain, let's put that way up there, and we're going to be climbing towards that together. You want to keep climbing because the mountaintop never runs out. Our goal in life, your life's purpose, is to keep climbing the mountain. And each time you climb the mountain and you get to a new plateau, and you've got many mountains to climb, the mountain of health, physical, mental, and emotional health, there's always another level of physical, mental, emotional health that you deserve, you want. You have to keep climbing that mountain. Your financial mountain, you got to keep climbing it. Your relational mountain, you got to keep climbing it. Your purpose and meaning mountain, your significance mountain, you got to keep climbing it. But each time you get to a new plateau on your journey to the top, that bear in between plateaus is wily, is aggressive, and seems to get more and more intelligent, almost predicting your moves. But each time you get past it, you have gained more mastery, more courage, more strength. You can outthink this bear. This is why there's different levels of humans. There are those humans that decide to stay on that first or second plateau and live off rocks and dirt and twigs because they are not courageous enough. They don't have enough vision. They don't have enough drive and urgency to go up to that next plateau. They live in a state of fear. Then there are the courageous ones, the risk takers, those who know they deserve more for themselves and their families, and they know they're willing to fight that bear, push through that external resistance of life, and get to that next plateau so that they can provide more for themselves, for their families, so that they can become the 2.0 versions of themselves and gift themselves to the world, to their families, to their business, to their customers, to their teams. It is only during that climb that you deal with that bear who gives you resistance, who pushes back, who fights back. And each time you get past that bear, you develop skills and traits to be a better human. You become more emotionally disciplined. You become more mentally tough. You begin to outwit and outthink others. You begin to become more stoic. You are healthier. You become the idealized version of yourself. But the climb must continue because the top never appears. That is the human journey. So I don't know what external resistance shows up in your life, but I can tell you it could show up as a pandemic. It could show up as competition in business. It could show up, God forbid, as your spouse asking for a divorce, your kid getting injured, It could show up as a family member dying, someone that you love, your parents dying unexpectedly. So many outside elements of resistance can show up. Those are the bears. You have no control over them. But what you do have control over is your effort and your attitude. And the amount of effort you're willing to put in and the attitude in which you show up when you face that bear determines whether you make it to the next plateau. And if you do, you become the better person, wealthier, healthier, more dialed in, more connected to consciousness, right? But remember, the bear is just one of two elements. There's also the dragon. The dragon is all internal resistance, right? And you're like, fuck, dude, you just described the worst case scenario, all these things that can go wrong in life and that have gone wrong in life, all while I'm trying to become a better person, make more money, improve my relationship, develop my purpose. And now I also have to worry about the internal factors? Yes, you do. This is how the universe, your creator, wants it to be. And if you're like, well, why? Why does it have to be that way? I will explain this to you just after I take a drink of my delicious Keuilian wellness shot. Listen, I stopped taking all of those and I started taking this, the Keuilian wellness shot. In fact, I created this because I was sick and tired of every morning taking 11 different supplements like turmeric, ginger, cayenne pepper, black pepper, vitamin B12, echinacea, vitamin C, zinc, right? Think about this. If you want to improve your immune system, if you want to fight off inflammation in your body so that you have better gut health, you have more energy, your joints don't hurt, then you're going to want to take all those supplements. And I was taking it twice a day, every day. And so when we created the Keuilian Wellness Shot, we cut no corners and we spared no expense. And so in this, you've got something that's going to not only help boost your immune system, but also fight off inflammation. Because if you're a high performer and if you want to get more done, if you want to stay more focused, if you want to make sure that you don't get sick as frequently, then you have to care about your immune system and you have to fight off inflammation, especially if you're an entrepreneur and you're high performing and you have a stressful work day from time to time, right? And so here's what I want you to do. You're going to click on the link in the description box or go to Keuilian.com and you're going to use the code word Bedros. And when you use my name, Bedros, you'll get 50% off your first subscribe and save bundle. For whatever reason you don't like the Keuilian Wellness Shot, which I've yet to meet anyone who doesn't, then let us know in your first 30 days. We'll give you a full refund. Part ways as friends. Fair enough? Go check it out. Use the code word Bedros. Get 50% off. Peace. Now, why is it that the creator wants this? Simple. The creator wants you to not only fight the bear, but also the dragon, your internal resistance, your internal all this gunk that you have within. So don't you think that we need to build our mental, emotional muscles, our muscles of discipline, our muscles of focus and consistency, our muscles of courage and mental toughness? Of course we do. We need resistance as well, just like we have, the treadmill or the stair stepper or the fucking bench press or the squat rack in the gym to give us resistance, to build our bodies, to build all of these other traits, emotions, mindsets, skill sets. We need resistance as well. And that is why the universe provides that in the form of external resistance, the bear, and internal resistance, the dragon. So then, now that we know that this is the formula, these are the ingredients for a better life. Like, God is not punishing you, my friend. God is not punishing you when you are faced with issues in your life. The only person that has no issues, by the way, in life, that has a very consistent and predictable life, are dead people. And you, my friend, are not dead. You are alive. You are doing well. Therefore, you have to control your efforts and your attitudes while you are going through these external and internal resistance. So how do the internal resistance show up? Well, could be trauma. And so if you want to gift the best version of yourself to the world, to your family, to your business, you want to break through all limiting beliefs, you've got to handle your business. And handling your business means dealing with the dragon, all of your internal resistance, how you feel about yourself, whatever abuse you've dealt with, like heal through your shit. Do the self-work. Pay the price of becoming the badass. Let the human animal within die and give life to the human being that's connected to consciousness. And when you do, and you do that work, You now have tamed the inner dragon. You have now proven that you could fight the bear. And once you've proven that you have tamed your inner resistance and you've broken through all those limiting beliefs and glass ceilings and upper limits that you had, dude, your anxieties go away. Depression goes away. How you feel about yourself in terms of negative self-talk, all of that goes away because you have to do the deep inner work. You can't ignore it. You can't escape it by smoking weed and watching TV, going down the rabbit hole of pornography, playing video games and late into the night. All those things are just escape methods. You can't run away from the dragon. You have to stand face to face, nose to nose, toes to toes with the dragon and fight that motherfucker. And when you do, it is the greatest battle that you will ever experience. There's so much self-discovery that you will have. You must fight the inner resistance, give birth to your highest self, your 2.0 self, and then every level of that mountain climb that you go to, every level of plateau that you hit, when life gives you resistance, external resistance, the bear will show up. You must courageously, optimistically, with good attitude and great effort, show up every single time. That is what it takes. The alternative is what? Mediocrity. The alternative is to be average. The alternative is to be a crop duster and not a fighter jet. The alternative is to watch everyone else out there living the life that you want to experience. And if you're here, you're watching or listening to this show, this might be a sign from your creator that it's time that you do something about it. I don't know what that something looks like. I don't know if you need to start reading books on self-development. I don't know if it's a decision that you've been putting off and you need to make. I don't know if you got to start training consistently and stop making excuses. I don't know if it just starts with cleaning up your diet for the next 10, 12 weeks and proving to yourself that you can maintain willpower and discipline over self. I don't know if it's writing an apology letter to someone or asking someone for an apology, but you are on the precipice of a breakthrough right now as you watch and as you listen to this show, because it's not by accident that you're here right now. It's not. That breakthrough is one decision away. And then each time you stack those wins, you begin to gain momentum. And every time you gain momentum, you become an unstoppable force of awesomeness.